Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, I want to go over like a little bit of information that we actually made a video on maybe around 2-3 weeks ago or so. But basically, this is kind of popping up a lot more, mainly because more people are kind of talking about it and hearing about it and stuff like that. So we actually have had a lot more people kind of questioning it, mainly because when it comes to like the day-to-day videos, I'll sometimes mention it in passing. We've had a little bit of walk-in events, and I keep on mentioning this, and sometimes I do get the comments where people are like, wait, what do you mean? How can you explain this? What's going on? And all this stuff. Like I said, I did make a video about this a little bit ago, but like I said, with a lot more other folks tweeting about it, news articles bringing on up, and kind of more stock being shown on up, it's happening more and more and more. So I want to just make a separate video and kind of just go do like another, I guess, explanation / ramble on how this kind of works, how this like you guys people are getting their consoles and what's kind of going on when it comes to this drop, especially because it's in regards to Best Buy, and Best Buy is, as you guys know, one of the top 5 big retailers when it comes to selling and getting consoles, and as well they're also not bundles, which also kind of bumps up the likelihood of people wanting to get their consoles a lot more. So I have a few things to talk about, a little walk-in stuff to kind of update you guys onto as well, so let's go talk about it. As well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. As well, for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway, Amazon links down below for the PS5 digital console and controller, Twitter and Twitch stream as well, link down below. And sign up for that Weeble, sign up for that Coinbase, and also make sure you guys are on the Twitter giveaway down below too as well. And let's go dive in the video itself. Or if this actually has worked for you, or you had any issues with it, feel free to leave a comment down below. So the one kind of two things to note is that Best Buy actually has been getting and receiving and selling PlayStation and also Xbox stock, even for stock that may not be actually available for everyone out there in the world, but for their local area, people checking online, and kind of doing this somewhat of like a Best Buy glitch. And with this, you could kind of use this for high in-demand objects and items until they go and patch it, although at this point, it's been around 3 weeks or so since they've actually had a chance to do this. So let's go talk about it. We have covered this before, but essentially, Best Buy is almost perpetually holding and sitting on stock when it comes to their PlayStations or Xboxes. And as well, we have been seeing batches of stock arriving. So if you guys have been seeing, we have been seeing Best Buy getting stock in store that is able to be bought and purchased. Now, this is going to be like a really quick first thing. We'll get into the glitch in a second. But I want to remind you guys, these past like 4 days especially, we've seen a very, very large uptake of Best Buy stores, obviously depending on the area, location, managers, etc. Pretty much, I would say nationwide, depending, like I said, on the timing and when you guys go there, etc., and getting stock. To the point where some people have actually just been showing up at door open, so right when the Best Buy opens up, and then they ask about it and check and see if there's any stock available. But we have been having people getting good success with that. Some stores were sitting on like 20, 30 stock. They're able to go get sold. They have to go ask about it, or sometimes it's literally been on shelves. We have been seeing this kind of somewhat transition to them doing in-store stock. So they could still be doing online drops. I'm never going to be like denying that, but I just want to let you guys know throughout this past, like I'd say especially 4 days or so, and probably these next few days too, we'll probably be seeing a few different reports of Best Buy stores having additional stock for people to get their consoles and buy their consoles and get their consoles too. So keep that in mind. So part 2 of this is the glitch. Now, this is probably a really good indication to know if your store will have stock, if your store currently has stock, or if it does not have stock. You kind of look at the triple whammy. So first and foremost, I do want to say it's better to do this on the app itself. I'm just going to do it on the web page because it's easier for me to record and show you guys on this one, although I'd probably more so recommend using the app. The app is the better way to do it. So if you guys try to go and find a console, so let's say you're trying to do the Xbox or PlayStation 5, you basically go and obviously type in PS5, you try to go and search it, and you get to go and see if there's any stock up here. You see this right here, by the way, before the web page loads, I'll show you guys that again in a second, is actually a very nice indication to see if your store has stock. So with this, you guys look at the PlayStation consoles, PS5 digitals. You guys can see in the actual web page itself, it's sold out, and while you have a Switch, you can get it as of today, if you guys can go and see. So one thing to kind of go note is if you go on this web page, even for your local area, it just basically says it's sold out. So in terms of the app itself, what do? So the kind of a like rough idea for it, and this is kind of harder to explain on video, but I think if I just explain it verbally, you guys will get it. If you guys go and use the app, or even sometimes the website itself, if you guys keep on refreshing, on occasion, it'll eventually go and be like, hey, this is like the closest store from like the 25 miles. Let's say you have like a 25-mile radius. There's a store, let's say, 17 miles away, or maybe says currently pickup is currently unavailable. So with that, then you'd be able to go and be like, okay, this random store that's 17 miles away for some odd reason showed up after all the other stores, like not my local store or a store 3 miles away, 7 miles away. This random one 17 miles away, why did it go and show up? And that's because that means that there is store in their back house, in the warehouse of their stock. A good example is maybe if you guys look at the Switch OLED, where if you guys basically refresh and you guys have a chance to go on the page loads, you see how it has like a check stores? And there's this check Storia, it must be backed up or whatever. But basically, it's kind of like the rough idea how it works on the app, where you'd refresh, and at some point you'd be able to go and see the local store that would show up that either says like unavailable, but it shows up on that store for some odd reason. So the only reason why it kind of shows up is because kind of how the API works is that there is stock there, it's just not technically easily able to be bought online. So that's why I kind of have a screenshot of this where it says the check stores. So it's kind of like that rough concept. Like it's more on the concept of it. I'm not showing you like a one-by-one step, but basically if you're using the app, you keep on reloading and you keep on checking, or you guys have like a check stores near you. That means that there's basically a console within the 25-mile radius or 50-mile radius, whatever you guys are looking for, that would have stock. And you guys would check the stores, and let's say it says like there's a store 17 miles away, not your usual preferred store, and then with that there'd be able to go and then you'd go and call the store, or show up at the store and open, or just show up in general, and then go ask about the consoles. So kind of how the system and format would work would be that there would be stock in the back room of the store itself, or there's just stock available in general, or as well, for if you're lucky, that also would maybe mean that that store had a batch of stock arrivals, where say there's like 20, 30 consoles available throughout the day. So it's kind of just basically like a nice incentive to be like, okay, there's a weird glitch, this random store that's not my preferred store showing up, that must mean something. So I hope I can kind of explain this like a little bit more to it, and I'll explain in a second, but like hopefully that's like the rough concept. It's basically like you keep on checking, refreshing, or use the app more so, and then if it randomly shows up, there's a reason why it's showing up in that store, and that means that there's something in their returns or warehouse or canceled orders, etc., which will let you guys get consoles or a brand new batch arrival, which would be kind of like a nice indication for a walk-in showing up. I hope that it makes sense. It's kind of hard to explain because it is technically like a glitch, technically like not supposed to happen, but it has been happening throughout these past like 3 or so weeks ever since people had a chance to figure out about it. So I wanted to make a video about it and talk about it. And then the part kind of for this is, if you guys go and check online, whether it's on the app or whether it's on the actual store itself, you guys can check on Best Buy. And you guys see how it has the SKU unit right over here, where it has the like the thing right there, like right here. It's also on the app, or you guys, I think it's the same thing for every store, where it's the SKU 6426149. You would also want to utilize that number so then the Best Buy employees can check in store. So basically that's just like a qualifying code, basically, like to kind of, it's like a, I guess, identifier. So if you're in a store and you'll be like, I want to go get this random weird refrigerator model, so it's like SKU 123456789. I want to get a PS5. Okay, it's SKU 6426149. So that's just basically so the employees, when you're on like the customer helpline or calling your local store or even in store, can basically type in that number, and that would show up the inventory for what their select store has. And that's how you basically want to use that, because it'd be like, hey, Part 1, the item would show up in your local area, that where it's like, hey, this random store is 17 miles away, 12 miles away, my local store, whatever it is. And then Part 2, then you'd go and call that store with that same number and be like, hey, do you have any SKU units, available in the store? And then the employee itself would check, and they'd be like, yeah, we have 3 PS5s. Yeah, we have 7 PS5s. Yeah, we have some in the back. Yeah, we have 20. Yeah, you can show up in the store and go get it. Yeah, we have a walk-in. Yeah, how do you know we have stock? But yeah, we have stock, etc., etc. So right now it does kind of seem like most Best Buy stores are more on the lax side, where they're okay with people just walking on in, asking about it, getting the SKUs. But obviously, if you guys do this, it is rarer. Like, it's not every single store will have this, although it's a very nice indication to go and see or double check your stores. It does take a few extra steps, and it's kind of weird, but a reminder, there is a chance your store may not even have any stock or no stock within like your 25-mile radius, just so you guys all know. But I just want to give you guys all that information because a lot of people have been asking about it. It's kind of hard to explain, even if I were to show you guys, it's kind of weird. But basically, like I said, just basically look, you wait for it to show up in the stock. If you see it in the stock, then you call the store or drive by your store. And as well, the Part 2 is we've been seeing normal walk-ins that have nothing to do with this glitch, just proper normal stock arrivals for people been getting from the store openings as of recently. So kind of hard to explain. I hope you guys didn't mind the video. If it was a little bit confusing, I'm sorry. But like, I think if you just tested it out yourself and did like 3 minutes of it, you probably get a little bit more than off the video itself. But I just want to give you guys like that concept of what it was. So I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys will get your Best Buy consoles. We have been seeing people tweeting at me and let me know this does work. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 Digital Console Controller with that Twitter and Twitch stream as well down below, and that Webull and Coinbase down below, and of course enter in the Twitter giveaway down below. And I appreciate you guys so much for watching in the first place.